Andy, hey, congratulations on your new film, Unit 234.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm pretty proud of it.
You know, it's always delightful to watch these type of action films, especially it's a guilty pleasure on a Friday and Saturday night, but I'm more familiar with your romantic comedy, so I'm curious on what initially drew you that you wanted to direct Unit 234.
Because I never want to direct a romantic comedy ever again. I feel like I've done it. I've done two of the most successful romantic comedies there are, and they were great and fun, but no one's offered me a thriller. And the fact is, as a moviegoer, I love thrillers and I love horror and science fiction and everything else. So the fact that I was offered this, a B movie thriller, which I grew up with, it was just a gift.
Now, tell us about this location of the storage facility because it's one of those productions where it must be a dream to have a single location for your entire production. But then again, after watching this film, I feel like there's a ton of challenges.
Yeah. Well, we shot in the Cayman Islands for reasons that are above my pay grade. There were no tax credits, no anything. I thought we'd be shooting in New Jersey or Atlanta or New Orleans, somewhere with a normal storage facility. But no, we were in the Cayman Islands and it had to open up. And then we found this storage facility that had kind of both in and out, which I actually felt was great for the movie because it allowed for us to keep the rain and the storm and a dark and stormy night, thing, to keep it going and to keep, if we were just inside all the time, all you'd have is the sound of rain. And this was a cat and mouse, game in the rain at night. So I actually thought it was a value add, but it was challenging.
Now, in the production of the rain, because this is sort of like during the middle of a storm or a hurricane.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the process because you can't just conjure rain on the whim for anybody's production.
No, rain at night. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody says, "Oh, you were in the Cayman Islands for, 3 months." It's like, yeah, but my day, 90% of that movie is at night. So my days were 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. So I never really got to the beach. And at 4 a.m. when you're standing in the rain at night shooting still, you get a bit grumpy. So you have to create these giant rain towers that have to be filled with, from the water trucks, and it's loud, and then you have wind, you have wind machines, and you all the stuff that can distract you from, a young woman running for her life through a storage facility. But besides that, the good news was that Isabel Furman was gangbusters and was up for anything. So, if we needed one more take in the rain, her running, soaking wet, then that's what she did.
Now, how did you settle on Isabella Furman for as a lead actress on this? Because in this situation, it could be played by anyone, but you went with a much more younger person who's very no well known in the horror genre industry.
Yeah, well, I think that was part of the appeal. The other part of the appeal is that it she's wickedly smart, and she, as a person, I think she's Mensa, for all I know, but really cool woman, knows her stuff. I didn't need a damsel in distress. I needed somebody who could fight back. And the stuff at the end, there's a lot of physicality that she goes through and slammed around. That's her.
And one last thing,
Sure.
talk about the rest of the cast with Don and Jack because they've done so well, and Don is a veteran in this industry.
Yeah. Well, I've worked with some great people, great veterans, from Don Johnson to Michael Douglas to Donald Sutherland to Alan Arkin. Um, the beauty of working with people who've been in the business that long is that they're not jaded. They love the business. They love what they do. They love a good story. They collaborate. They love hanging out with the crew. it's like old school stuff where it's just easy, you know, and he loved the script, he loved what he got to do, he loved the twists. And so, you know, yeah, you're working with Don Johnson. I get starstruck by a lot of the veterans because that's who I grew up with. They were my heroes.
Well, there are certainly heroes in this case. Andy, thank you very much for speaking to us about Unit 234. That twist, I didn't even see it coming.
Me either.
Thank you very much. Bye
Thank
now.
you.